What's up, everyone? Scotty from Chernobyl Studios. Today, we're going to go over the EuroBass III. Finally, there is a new version of the EuroBass. Now, you may be asking, what's the difference? I have EuroBass II. Who cares? Is EuroBass III really that much better? Whoop-de-frickin-do. Yes. Yes to all of those. And if you go on the website right now, link down below, which is an affiliate link, by the way. And I should mention that they did send this to me, and they are sponsoring and paying me for this video. So just to let you know. The EuroBass III is a completely overhauled bass library in the same vein as Umansky and Grob, meaning that it has the true bass technology, which allows you to have all the control that you want to have on the fretboard. So, for example, if you were using Grob bass because you could do all the tapping and legato and all these things, you can do the same thing on EuroBass III now. Me personally, I always loved the EuroBass II sound. That particular sound, I'm a big fan of. And so having it now in EuroBass III is great with the extra added benefits of the plugin updates, okay? So the first thing that you'll see here is you're like, oh my God, Scott, it's still in Kontakt. Why? Not a big deal. This is made in Kontakt, yes, but you do not have to buy Kontakt. You can buy EuroBass III and you can use it in the Kontakt player. No problem. You don't have to buy anything extra, all right? I really like that Submission Audio does that. I know it costs them extra amounts of money to do licenses, but it gives more people the chance to try the bass. And so I think it's a good investment that Submission does, so you don't require Kontakt. I like it. It's good. Now, just for a quick comparison, here's the old EuroBass instrument. This is the old instrument down here. We can see there's a big difference, right? Let's just look at the two interfaces, okay? Let's go over it. So here's the old interface. We just got a couple of presets, which were fine, by the way. But even down here, the alternate picking, this has an automatic auto note mode now, because down here, you always had to just double check to make sure that the alternate picking was in line with the BPM that you were working on. So if you know, you needed to really not know music, but you needed to at least be able to figure out, like, oh, I need a quarter note here, or oh no, this should really be 16th notes. And if you didn't know that, it could, you know, make the bass not sound as good. In this case, you've got automatic, which is, unless you have something specific happening that you want to have for a very specific part, you're probably not going to have to worry about this anymore. You don't even have to think about it anymore, okay? One great thing about that, right? Already alternate picking, the bass becomes more realistic sounding, and that's, you know, easier to work with. Now you have all this muting noise and string noise, and this has been turned into a humanized knob, which works quite well. They recommend to have it here right at the bit where it goes from human to bassist. So, I mean, who am I to question Ermi? He does a pretty damn good job. So I'll just kind of go with Ermi on that one. This tone knob here, which I don't know why it was ever here, actually, because I remember watching a video where Ermi was like, don't touch this, just leave it here. So I don't know why it's there. It's obviously not here in the new version. We have key switch information, which I can show you really quick, I guess, the differences here. I mean, way more articulations, man. Just way more articulations, way more control. You can even, and then what I'm going to talk about here with the true bass stuff, you can even tell the program to play notes on a specific string in a specific position on the fretboard, okay? So if you're an actual real bass player and you want the EuroBass sound, just click the link below and go buy this, because this is what you're looking for. You know, the search is over, right? Man, EuroBass II, I should say, was just a good workhorse bass, and it's going to be retired now because there's literally no reason to use it anymore. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Submission Audio just stopped selling it, because why? There's pretty much no reason to use this anymore. EuroBass III is superior in every way, okay? So let's talk about some other things that are new here. Obviously, we have the key switches. You can do, where is it, what I'm looking for? Oh, you can palm mute. All right. Now, generally, palm muting in metal anyway, you're just not going to do that. But I can understand why you might want to palm mute if you want to control dynamics. You have a really soft part of the song and you want to control dynamics. That's cool. So that's in there. Sliding is in here. Sliding with the new position ability and controlling the fourth string, you can really now slide to any note, to any other note, anywhere on the fretboard. It's It's pretty cool. Slapping is in here. Alternate picking is in here. So you can be as simple as possible, like how I am. I just use alternate picking because I'm not a bass player and I'm really not that kind of guitar player anyway. And like with doing a lot of whittlies. But it does make sense that you can force the bass to play somewhere because the bass will sound different in different positions. So if I'm playing the bass, that's kind of weird, right? Like maybe I don't want to play that note right there. Maybe I would want to play it higher up on the fretboard. So I can do this and then it sounded like a real bass now. Like, I mean, it's going to take time to learn how to program the bass and program it like this and do the key switching, but that's the nature of it. You will get a much uh, more realistic sounding bass. In my particular case, I didn't really have to do much. It sounded pretty much perfect, so I was like, I'm not gonna mess with this. And playing the bass, I would probably move up the neck to do some of those higher notes to keep my hand in the same position. Whereas on the guitar, I was moving a little bit more. So I didn't really have to do anything in particular for the riff that I wrote. It sounded really good just the way it was. But the positioning here and then forcing the string to play a particular note where you want to play it. Obviously, it's going to be great for sliding. It's going to be great for tapping. It's going to be great for hammer-on pulling off. Over here on the right, you can save bass tuning, so you can literally tune the bass to a different tuning. Is that necessary? I don't really know, but you can change the tuning. So you can change the tuning so the guitar. So I'm assuming so that things move on the fretboard in a way that would make sense to you. That would be more logical. Okay, so you can do that. That's cool. Let's see. The key switching now. One of the cool things about key switching here is here you can change from momentary to latch. I personally prefer non-latching key switches. I don't know why it's called momentary here. Kind of confused me a little bit actually, but latching and non-latching, I can just show you what it means. This right here means momentary. Like I have to draw it for as long as this note is drawn. This is the key switch that's going to be played. Latching would be like I wrote a note, and whatever the articulation of C0 is, that's going to be until I do this or I write it in again to turn it off. Now you can see how this is kind of annoying because you can't see it, right? But momentary, like I can see clearly I have an articulation enabled. What is going on here? I need to turn this off, or I can just do this. And it's just way easier to do articulation stuff here. So I appreciate that they gave you the option to do non-latching and latching, but I don't know why. I would just go with non-latching. Leave it at non-latching. After tuning, you can change the bending range for how far the bend will go. And you can change it to be more or less realistic or however you want, or more or less dynamic. That's the word you're looking for. Here on the page itself, you got a mixer to work with the different elements of the tone. So if we go to clean and we go to mixer, we can change the drive, the tone, we can compress it more, we can change the girth, or we can change distortion. Pretty cool, actually. I didn't know you could do this till just now. You can just click on it right here, and you don't need to go back to fretboard and then click. Just click the mixer, already start changing the parameters to how it fits in your song, and man, that's it. There's so much done under the hood. Like I wrote a bunch of here I got a bunch of notes here. I mean, I'll read some of the notes. I don't want to get bored here, but I mean, true bass technology, so full access to the fretboard. What I've been talking about the whole time, you can control where the note plays. 4-string articulation, I already talked about that. The alternate picking logic, brand new, not brand new, but it's the true bass version of it. So now you have it with EuroBass. Sliding to note, more realistic, legato tapping, multi-sample, palm muting, bass tuning, bending range. There's a lot new in here, right? There's a lot new in here. Now, the last thing I think I'll talk about here is this little button here called Doom. There's a guy by the name might know who he is, Mick Gordon, who used EuroBass II and Submission Audio stuff on the Doom soundtrack. And so obviously it's called Doom. Now, the thing about why is this button here? Because while this whole instrument talks about, true bass technology, realism, you might not want that. You might be working on an industrial metal soundtrack or electronic music or something, and you just want the bass like here, like 127 kick drum style. Well, you just click the button and basically it strips down the plugin, like less samples, less dynamic range samples, all the velocity, everything's cranked. It's all cranked. It sounds like it just sounds like a machine now. Like there's no slight inconsistencies or anything like that. But that'll get you that sound if you need to have that pinned type of bass thing going on, right? That's the plugin, guys. It's really quite simple. And as far as working with it, it's like anything else. You know, when I talked about Grove and Umansky bass earlier, you know, I mean, Ermi and the guys have kind of made this a science. You really don't have to think about it that hard. I just will do 3 things now. I like to do just shaping EQ when the mix is playing to fit these in with the guitars. This is why I bumped this up a little bit. And then these are my 2 go-to moves right now. I will do an even bass so I can make the bass 90 hertz and below compressed. And then double tap, which is also submission audio, and just the settings that Ermi suggests in the pop-up here, right? Almost don't even have to think about it. And then that's the result I get, just like this. Now, one thing that I do sometimes is I might add micro shift to do sort of a chorusing effect. That would sound something like this. It kind of pushes the bass out to the side a little bit. But I didn't do it for this mix, so I can just leave it like that. The mix itself, I mean, just the EQ, man. Okay, I can do the EQ. Just taking out some mids so it's less honky. That's it. Couldn't be any easier. You want a great bass sound, Euro bass. That's it. Drums are, you guys always ask, so I'll go through this real quick. Drums are Hertz drums, which are just great drums to use for this style of music. So Hertz drums. Bass is obviously EuroBass III. Now the guitars were the Randall. You can't see because I'm sitting in front of it, but these are the actual guitars. It's the Randall that I recorded with that you saw in the video, so that's true. It's for real, and they sound like this. Okay. I was using the Randall cab that's in the 2 notes here. I think it's with G12s, I don't remember. But I just recorded it 4 times, as you can see here, and then off to the races. And that's all I did. I did some orchestral stuff because this little section was rather boring. So I just, it's some Audio Imperia choirs, and then from Sounds and Other Silencing Other Sounds, came out with a new instrument that I really wanted to play with. Just a nice little bed under there to give movement and stuff like that. Yeah, man, that's pretty much it. So the EuroBass right now, let me see the website. Okay, so right now, it's a 50% off. Excuse me, it's a upgrade price of $69. So if you have EuroBass II, upgrade. It's totally worth it. Just go upgrade. It's a fantastic plugin. If you don't have it, it's $20 off. Buy it. It's really good. And then everything else is down here if you want to check out the extra information. But like I say, definitely upgrade if you have EuroBass II. There's no reason to use EuroBass II anymore. EuroBass III is a fantastic upgrade. And yeah, so there you go. All right, so that has been the video about EuroBass III. Again, Thank you to Zach for sending it to me, getting in touch with me. It's been a couple weeks in the process here, and I'm glad to have made the video for them. Thanks to Ermi, everyone at Submission Audio for sponsoring and paying for this video to get it out there. And I want to say also that one last thing that Submission Audio did do for me is they still allowed me to sign up for the affiliate program because I've been using Submission Audio for so long that not only did they allow me to use this video in the affiliate program, but they're also paying for the video. So I have to say that it is pretty cool to be, I mean, not that I need the accolades or the recognition, but it is cool to be recognized by a company as a loyal user for many, many years. So that's a special thank you to Submission Audio for allowing me to do that. That does mean a lot to me, and you know that's pretty cool. So I hope one of these days, Ermi or Zach or anyone at Submission Audio, our paths cross in real life, so I can give you a handshake and buy you a beer. It would definitely be my honor, and I would love to do it. All right. So that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.